Have you ever been stressed or overwhelmed and had someone say, just go take a walk, you'll feel better? I've actually taken that advice a couple times this semester as I'm wrapping up my senior year, and I found that when I come back, I feel a lot less stressed, my mind is clearer, and I'm better able to tackle the problems I had left. And I wondered, what are some other ways that I'm engaging with nature while inside my home? I found that I'm gravitating towards areas in my house where there is more natural sunlight to do my work. And I'm loving my views of my backyard more, and I'm bringing in more plants to my house every week. I was wondering, as an interior designer who finds the interior of my spaces important, is this something that I'm just experiencing, or is this something that I should make myself more aware of as I'm designing more spaces? And so as I was conducting my senior thesis, I came across Biophilic Design. Now to break that down, biophilic is the love of nature, and so biophilic design is reflective of humans' connection to the natural environment and how to bring nature inside our spaces. And so I decided to do more research into, okay, are there any benefits to this? Do we get anything back from having nature inside our homes? And I found a lot of research actually over this. First off was a study done in hospitals where they put half of the patients in a room with a view of a brick wall, and the other half of patients they put in a room with a view of trees and sky and bushes. And they found that people in the nature room healed a lot faster, took less pain medication, and called their nurses less often than people in the room that had a view of a brick wall. And so post-pandemic, a lot of companies are trying to make their spaces more healthier for their employees. So they've been conducting some similar research into this area. And they have found that by moving their desk closer to the windows where there's more natural sunlight, where there's better views of nature, and bringing plants into the space, their employees have gone back to them and told them, we feel less stressed and less anxious. And we also feel like our brains are clear, we're able to problem solve better. And we found that there are even more health benefits that we didn't even know of, that nature calms down our bodies by reducing our heart rate and our blood pressure. So if these are all great health benefits that we're getting from biophilic design, why are we not incorporating these into our home environment? Post-pandemic, we're spending more time at home than we ever have. We start our day here, end our day here, and now many of us are working from home. So this should be the first place we think of when we think of incorporating mental and physical health benefits into our spaces. And so as I was conducting my research, I knew this is what I wanted my thesis topic to be about. I wanted to bring biophilic design into a home space. But now my only question was, who? Who am I going to design for? Now, interior design is unfortunately known only as being unaffordable for most people. And that is a goal of mine as I am starting my career. I want to make interior design more accessible because everyone should have these opportunities to receive health benefits in all the spaces they live in. And so I took a class over homelessness in Atlanta and the world, and I came across pregnant women who are experiencing homelessness. They're a hidden population we don't really think of, and especially women that already have children with them. And so I knew I wanted to design a space for them. So I created a maternity home for them. Many women go through so much stress in their body when they are pregnant, and so adding homelessness and displacement to that just add a whole other mental load on top of the physical load, as they are the sole provider and caretaker for their children as a single parent. Additionally, most women who are homeless, 90% in fact, have experienced domestic abuse, and 22 to 55% of them have claimed domestic abuse as their reason for becoming homeless. So there's another level of trauma and mental health that we are considering in a space like this. So now you may be wondering, okay, but how do we implement biophilic design into a home space? What does that look like? Is it just adding more plants? No, it's much broader than that, thankfully for those of us who do not have green thumbs. This is a counseling room I have provided in my maternity home for the use of the mothers and children in this space. And here you can see I have included plants. But dried plants, live plants, they all act the same way to get benefit from nature. However, there are other elements as well, such as using natural colors like blues and greens and earth tones, and natural materials like woods and woven materials. As I've mentioned before, another important aspect of biophilic design is the view of nature and sunlight we get from windows. However, that's not always possible in every space, as in with this one. This is on the first floor, facing the front where the sidewalk is. a very public area, and this is a very private area. And so in order to keep that privacy, I included these window films. But that would block out a lot of the light and especially the view. And so to counterbalance that, I've incorporated ones that have floral and greenery decals, as well as iridescent pieces in them that will cap rainbows into the room. So there are other ways to engage with nature and sunlight, even when it's not direct. Another space that I have incorporated biophilic design into are these study rooms. This is a study room for children to use after school to complete their homework. And here you see that I also have included natural colors and materials. However, in this space, as it looks over the backyard, we have views into nature as well as sunlight coming in. Another important aspect of biophilic design, to remember, is having access to the outdoors. And so this is a second-story space, but it's important to go get a breath of fresh air, especially when you're working hard. And so I created a porch for them to go out and get that breath of fresh air. I've also included fun, concrete ways, because this is a kids' area, by incorporating a mushroom lamp and a sculptural cloud on the ceiling. But you can also see I've included plants in this space as well, but made it more kid-friendly. So in here, I have a propagation station on the wall where kids can root their own plants and plant them outside in the garden. And in this view of the same room, this is from the computer station area, in the back you can see a bright green wall. That is a moss wall. They're becoming a very popular biophilic design element to include because they are durable, they are safe, and they're easy to maintain. They're a great tactile way for kids to engage with nature while still being inside. And because it is a living plant, it provides better air quality in the room as well as more off-key. However, you may be thinking now, okay, is biophilic design just about the decor that we put in this space? And the answer is no, it actually is even wider than that. Biophilic design is also about how we engage with the walls that we are within. And so there are two important aspects of this, prospect and refuge. Now, to imagine what prospect is, you've come to the top of a mountain, looking out to the horizon, the beautiful mountain overlook is that great expansive space. And it creates in us a sense of curiosity, of adventure, and of potential. So how do you incorporate something like that in an indoor environment? This is my community dining room and kitchen, and the mothers and children in this space will share. And you can see prospect in this space because it's a great expansive open concept space that really encourages engagement and community and has a potential for sharing and building unity together. So in this space, I've also incorporated other biophilic elements I've mentioned before, such as the access to nature outside, to the backyard, and then the sunlight coming in, as well as the natural colors and materials, blues and greens, and wood in this thing. The next one is refuge. And the important thing to remember about refuge is that it's the balance to those big, expansive community spaces that we do need, but we need refuge as well. To picture it, imagine a cat inside its box. It's an enclosed space that the cat feels protected in and safe inside. However, it's not completely cut off from the rest of the world. It still has that opening and can look out and be aware of all of its surroundings while still feeling protected and safe. This is shown in the sitting room I have right outside of the community laundry room. So it's a great space for mothers to come and rest and relax while they're tending to their laundry. This shows refuge because the chairs that I have provided in this space, both these swinging chairs and these standing ones, are a bit more enclosed. It provides the opportunity for the mothers just to choose to sit back and read and just be by themselves and just rest. Or, if they want to, it's a smaller intimate space with only about 4 people. You can have a smaller gathering and interaction if they so choose. But it's important to have these balances between an expansive gathering space and a more intimate private space so that we can choose our comfort level of interaction. So prospect, refuge, natural colors, materials, sunlight, plants, these are all elements of biophilic design. And if they can all come together to create a safe, welcoming, warm environment that helps with our mental and physical health for these mothers and children that are going through such a difficult, stressful time of life, where they are dealing with displacement and bringing a new life into the world, how much more can these elements help us in our everyday life? So it's very easy to start today to implement these things into your own home. You don't need a large budget. This is an accessible way to design your home. You start today by going home and opening up the windows, and opening up the blinds and letting natural light in and turning off those overhead lights during the day. You can be, if you don't have a great view of the outdoors, Research has shown that incorporating paintings and pictures into your space that show natural landscapes or natural elements like flowers and trees can have the same effect on us as looking out at a natural view outside. Also, be more mindful of the colors you're bringing into your space. Make sure to integrate some of those natural tones and the materials that you're using. And finally, don't forget that in order to get the full benefits from biophilic design, it needs to be a constant engagement with it. We cannot just decorate one corner or one room of our house and think that we're reaping all the benefits that biophilic design can bring to our health and well-being. We're not just in one place all day long. We are constantly moving from room to room. So in order to constantly be engaged in nature, be sure to sprinkle different elements of it throughout your home. So the next time you're taking a walk outside, consider how being in nature makes you feel. And think of some unique ways that you can bring nature into your own home. Or you can be like me and use this as an excuse to go out and buy another plant.